Hey, how we doing everyone? Welcome back. Today we're going to be taking another look at the Yamaha XSR900 GP, and because this shares a lot in common with the MT-09, mainly the engine and the dashboard, we're going to be making some comparisons between the two, and today we're going to decide which one is best. So let's jump on and let's go. This really is an awesome motorcycle, and I think the one thing that I want everyone to take away from this video and our MT-09 ride review. Oh wow, look at that car. That's awesome. Didn't expect to see that today. What was I saying? Yeah, I think that the one thing to take away from this video and our MT-09 videos is just how surprisingly good they both are. Seriously. You look at the spec sheet, you think, oh, that's going to be a bit boring, isn't it? But no, seriously. Oh, the rain started. Seriously, both these bikes are really good. They're a lot of fun, and you want for nothing with these bikes. Seriously, you've got that TFT display, which is awesome, ultra modern. You've got quick shifter, cruise control. You probably have launch control as well. Different rider modes. Really, the only real differences between this bike and the MT-09 are, of course, the looks, but also the riding position. Yeah, this is an ultra sporty seating position, and it does have a significantly longer wheelbase than the standard MT-09. So I suppose really the question you should be asking yourselves is, do I want a more comfy riding experience and a more crazy riding experience, or do I want something that is a bit more sporty, more ergonomically aggressive, but not quite as crazy? Because the standard MT-09 is an absolute wheelie monster. That thing is so much fun. Honestly, man, I love that bike so much. I think the MT-10 just takes it, just takes the crown, but honestly, it really depends on the type of riding that you prefer. I tend to prefer the way how nakeds ride because, as they were described to me recently as hooligan bikes, I think I kind of agree with that sentiment. When you are describing naked motorcycles, they are hooligan bikes. They pull wheelies left, right, and center. They're super torquey, but they're really comfortable, and you can actually do quite a lot of miles on them, really, from an ergonomics perspective. You can do a lot of mileage on nakeds, whereas something like this, I don't want to get the wrong impression. This is not an uncomfortable motorcycle by any stretch of the imagination. Actually, I've been riding this for about an hour now, and it hasn't given me any problems, at least in terms of comfort anyway. Yeah, this is surprisingly good in every single way, even though when you first sit in the cockpit you think, oh, this is going to be difficult to ride for long periods of time. Actually, it's not too bad. I would still prefer to sit in the MT-09 if I'm going to do touring rides, but I wouldn't argue. If I had to do a long ride on this, perfectly doable. For me, at least, you know, I'm 5'11", 6 foot on a good day. Pretty much, if you're around about that height, I don't think you're going to have too many problems riding the bike, especially over longer journeys anyway. But that's the thing, guys. Whatever I say today, I don't want to take anything away from the MT-09 or anything away from the XSR900 GP. This thing, it has been so much fun. And it is surprisingly quick as well. Yes, it's only a 3-cylinder. I say only a 3-cylinder. It's only producing 120 odd horsepower. But it doesn't matter. It's so much fun. And I mean, if you want to check out our ride review of this bike, where we do some 0 to 60 runs, and you know, we really do put the bike through its paces in our ride reviews, then you'll get a better idea of what I'm talking about in terms of performance. Yeah, what a great bike this is, man. I was going to say what a good bike, but no, it is better than that. It's a great bike, this. And especially if you're into the classic design, I mean, you're going to be really treating yourselves. And I know that classic looks of bikes have been having a little bit of a resurgence over the last 2 years. Yamaha really did it properly with this bike. They redesigned the fairing and changed the frame of the bike. They really went all out to give this bike the proper classical look of them 80s race bikes. They really went all out with this thing, and you've got to commend them for that. Especially if you don't like the way how more modern bikes look. It's all well and good giving them a classic paint job, but it's never going to look like this. You've got to literally redesign the look of the bike to make it look like this. I still think it looks like Iron Man at the front. Just really funny. But alright guys, let's try and answer this age-old question. One, is it streetable? Yes, I think this bike is incredibly streetable. More comfortable than the R7, more fun than the R7, and arguably one of the best bikes on Yamaha's roster, full stop. This thing is really good. In terms of super sports, this is the best super sport on Yamaha's roster until the R9 comes out. This is the best bike that you can buy right now if you're looking for a super sport. But would I take this over an MT-09? No. Because I am a hooligan. I want comfort, and I want an ugly bike, and I want to pull wheelies everywhere, have a lot of fun on it. That's pretty much why I would take an MT-09 over this. This is a far more civilized experience in a lot of ways, despite the fact that it really does want to pull wheelies all the time. This is more sensible, funnily enough. It does have that grunt though, that same MT-09 grunt. It's just because it has a longer wheelbase, pretty much. Thing is, guys, I'm a street bike rider through and through, you know? So, obviously nakeds are gonna suit me better for the type of riding that I like to do over bikes like this. Alright, let's see what this bike's made of. I'm telling you, this bike is quick. This is quicker than a 600. I don't care what anyone says. I'm telling you, this is a quick bike. It's just because you got all that torque, man. That torque is beautiful. Such a good experience. A motorcycle without torque, you might as well not be riding it. Oh, so good. You see what I mean though? Even though this experience is second to none, it's a fantastic riding experience, I'd still take an MT-09 over this. Oh, this thing it's winning me over though, you know? This is seriously good. What a bike. I absolutely love this bike. Which, it does kind of shame me to say that I'd still take an MT-09 over this. It really does shame me, because if I had to go on this bike first and the MT-09 second, I might feel differently about it, but for my type of riding, for the type of riding I like to do, the type of riding that I do every single day, I'd have a blast on this bike, no doubt, have no doubt, I'd absolutely love it. But I think the MT-09 is just a little bit better. And then the MT-10, of course, is a little bit better than that. It's tough, man, because I love this thing. This bike is so good. And I'm going to be sad to let this bike go, as I was sad when I had to give back the MT-10 and the MT-09. This is a seriously good bike, man. But don't look at the spec sheet and think, oh, is that it? Seriously, this might be a 900cc bike, but trust me, it has more than... I mean, the spec sheet looks disappointing, doesn't it? When you consider this is a 900cc bike, the spec sheet looks a little bit disappointing. Don't look at it like that. Seriously, test ride the bike first, see how you feel. Alright, I promise you the riding experience is going to be better than what the spec sheet says. I promise you. Oh, it's too good. Too good. Love this bike. I've said that so many times today. Oh, what a pleasure, what an honor, what a privilege. Yamaha, man. Why did you make the R7? This is way better than the R7. By all means, ditch the R6, but this, honestly, the R7's got nothing on this. If you're looking for a super sport, this is it. And if this is what the R9 is going to look like, or feel like, then the R9 is the way to go, without a doubt. The R7 was a little bit boring. This isn't boring in the slightest. This is really neat. And despite the fact that the R7 has got the same engine as the MT-07, it was missing something. There was something about it that it was like it was trying to be a different bike, and it wasn't meant to be, you know. It's not meant to be that bike. Whereas this is meant to be. Oh, this is awesome. Absolutely love it. Certainly does give Kawasaki Z900 for a run for its money, honestly. It really does. But still, it doesn't feel big in the cockpit. It doesn't feel like there's a lot there. It feels like a small motorcycle. Despite the fact that, yeah, it's running an 889cc 3-cylinder. It's a big engine for a motorcycle, but this bike feels small. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful, guys. A beautiful experience. I think it's a really good way to describe it. A beautiful experience. Absolutely love it. And you know, if I had to pick between this and the MT-09, if I actually had to pick, it would be a really difficult decision. But yeah, the MT-09, I think, takes it, despite the fact that I prefer the look of this bike. And the 2024 MT-09 does have an overhaul with the way it looks as well. The new fairing looks really nice. So if it's a 2024 versus a 2024, then yeah, definitely the MT-09. If it was a 2023 MT-09 versus this, that would be a much harder decision to make. And there's a big case for this bike over the 2023 MT-09. What a bike, man. Oh, this thing. A lot of fun. Yeah, man, this bike will really but it doesn't quite wheelie as well as the MT-09, unfortunately, despite how fun this motorcycle is. Oh, I hate to say it, but yeah, it's got to be the MT-09, everyone. I'm sorry. Alright, but again, as I mentioned, this doesn't take anything away from this bike, right? This bike is so much fun, so good, and you're paying £12,500 for it. It's a lot of bike for the money, especially with the features, the cruise control and the quick shifter and the TFT dash. This engine is getting a little bit long in the tooth now. I think Yamaha has had this around for over 10 years now, this MT-09 engine. Maybe longer than that. But it's still a good engine. It's still really good, really fun. What more do you want? But there you have it, everyone. Thank you ever so much for joining me on today's ride, taking another look at the Yamaha XSR900 GP, which I think Richard Hammond had a go on recently. So that's something, isn't it? But yeah, thanks again, everyone. Take care, ride safe, and we'll catch you all in the next video. Have a good one.